Warning, this video is not kid friendly. If you're underage or if you're not comfortable with swearing, please click away from this video. Thank you.
Call for the north side. I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody. I don't give a fuck.
What's up guys, it's me again, Mr. 6 Ultimate, and today, well, as you can see, this video probably wasn't what you were expecting. If you remember my last video from 3 to 4 months ago now, what you probably were expecting was more unboxing videos of PC parts. And basically, to explain why that video is not a thing, is because it didn't work out too well. I unboxed everything. How do I do this? Like this, maybe? Why is this? No, please don't break it. Alright, that sounds nice. Okay, so this has a bit of a... I'm scared to let this go. I'm not sure what I'm going to be expecting. Oh, this has turbo paste on it. Recording the audio with my PC in the video with a phone as usual. However, until a certain point, I realized that the phone had stopped recording halfway and I had only recorded a quarter of the video. So I took some time to think and I figured, at least the audio still is being recorded, so I'm just going to add in pictures or record again in editing. So as I kept unboxing, my too old PC also decided to stop working and just cut the audio recording without telling me. So after that, I really just gave up. I gave it some thought and I decided I was just gonna make this video and showcase my PC after it's done. So that's why we're here. As you will also be able to see later on, my setup changed as well, and I will make a video on it too eventually because I'm not done with the setup yet. In this video, I'm going to talk about the setup a little, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on the computer and what it can do. Also, you may have noticed, but besides a higher resolution due to my PC being able to handle it now, the editing style and how smooth it is might be a bit different. That is because I decided to switch from Cyberlink Power Director to Adobe Premiere Pro. I figured with an expensive setup, I might as well get a software that is worthy of it. So I'm still learning how to use that. Also, lastly, if you haven't noticed, some of my old videos are gone. Now, they're not deleted. I kept them, but I made them private. And I kept some of the old videos with average quality to show the progress I made over the years, all while cleaning up the channel and removing all the unnecessary videos. So anyway, enough talking. Let's get on to the video. So I guess to make things interesting, we might as well start with the old rig. The old rig had an Intel Core 2 Duo that had 2 cores and 2 threads, and that was running at 1.8 GHz clock speed. The graphics card was an NVIDIA GT 8800 with 188 CUDA cores. It only had 4 gigs of RAM with 2 sticks of 2 gigs of RAM. It wasn't DDR4, and I'm not really sure what DDR it was, but I'm guessing it was either DDR3 or DDR2 because it was really slow. The power supply was actually not that bad. It was 500 watts, but I figured that I might as well just get entirely brand new parts for everything. As for the storage, we had a hard drive that was 480 gigs of storage, and I'm guessing it was 5000 RPM because it was really slow. But now, I have the new setup, so get ready. Here it is. So let's get started with the unfinished setup real quick. First off, on this side, we have a cup holder that I don't really use because it's just too far away. And we have a headphone stand that I do actually use sometimes when I'm done gaming and I'm not really sure where to put my headphones. We have my alcohol bottles because, yeah, I have those. Along with a skull because, I don't know, why not? I liked it and I wanted one. And I figured, why not put it there? I think it looks cool. We also have the newer NW7000. Now, it's not the 800 version like I used to have, and that is because I was tired of the old connection, so I switched to the 7000, which has a USB connection. I also keep my cap and or my beanie either on my computer or on the microphone stand because I feel like it. We have the speaker setup that I do plan on changing. However, for the time being, they're called Altec Lansings, whatever those are, and the subwoofer is down below. And as you can see, the cable management is a bit average. I tried my best, but I want you to keep in mind that this is my first setup, and keeping things clean isn't really my best point. However, I still think it's pretty good because the cables don't touch the ground, and they're all still tied up in a bunch. And compared to my old setup, it's actually really good. Anyway, we also have the peripherals. Now, you guys know about these because I've talked about these before and I've had them for a while. but we have both Corsair peripherals, and the keyboard in question is a Corsair Q86 mechanical Corsair keyboard, and the mouse is an RGB Iron Claw. We also have the two monitors. Those also are that new. The secondary screen is a Samsung 27-inch at 1080p 60Hz, and it is busted out from an airsoft gun. Shout out to my friend Kevin for that. The main Asus screen is also clearly 27-inch. It's 1080p, however it is 144Hz, and it's also adjustable. Now, as for the actual desk, it's I don't fucking know about no one. The finish is supposed to be carbon, however it's clearly not real carbon, it's just wood, but I think it looks alright. The legs are made out of metal, however it does have an RGB LED strip because that's clearly fucking necessary. And the rest is some old stuff I still need to change, like the Logitech webcam over here, the old chair because everyone knows that's the best thing of a setup, and the mouse pad. And yeah, that's about it. Now, as for the actual finished PC, I might still upgrade it later on, but for now, the original specs are an AMD Ryzen 5 3600, 6 cores, 12 threads, 3.6 GHz clock speed with the original AMD stock cooler on it because I didn't want to bother with an AIO or one of those big bulky air coolers because I just think that looks bad. For the motherboard, we have an MSI B450 that goes along with the MSI NVIDIA GTX 150 Ti that has 600 or 800 cores. I'm not really sure how many it has, and it does have 4 gigs of RAM. Now, as for the actual PC's RAM, we have 2 sticks of 8 GB RAM from Corsair. It's RGB, it's the Vengeance ones, and it adds up to a total of 16 gigs with a clock speed of 3200 megahertz. We also have a Corsair RM650 for the power supply. It obviously has 650 watts and it is modular because I didn't want to bother with cables that I didn't need. As for the storage, we have an SSD and a hard drive. The SSD is a Corsair MP510. It's 480 gigs and I use it mainly for my system and all the programs that I need to load in quickly. As for the rest, like the video footage, memes, and a bunch of random shit, I'm using a Barracuda hard drive at 7200 RPM and it has about 2 terabytes of storage. Now, if you haven't noticed already, most of this build is a Corsair build, just like the case is a Corsair Carbide Spec 4, and the fans are also Corsair. We have 2 intake fans and 3 exhaust fans. They're all Corsair. However, we have 4 RGB fans and one of them only has red LEDs, and that is because it came in with a case and I figured I might as well just use it. So I put it in the back. As you can probably tell, one of the RGB fans doesn't actually have any RGB, and that is because while I was building my computer, I actually made a mistake that I couldn't take back, and so I will need to change that fan eventually. But for the actual fans I used the SP120s and not the LL120s or the QL120s because I figured that was just overkill, and it was fine with only 8 RGB LEDs on each fan, and I think that does the job pretty well because the rest was going to be overkill on my computer. Now, obviously, with all that RGB and LEDs on, we have all the Corsair nodes, blah blah blah. I don't really know whichever they are because I didn't take too much time to look at them, but with one of those came 4 LED strips from Corsair, and I only have 2 of them installed because 4 was actually too much and it did not fit in my computer. So I have 1 LED strip at the front and 1 at the bottom, but not on the back or the top. I still think it's better than nothing, so I figured I just might as well keep them there. So that's that. Now, one last thing I want to say about the PC is that, yeah, I know the cable management also is a bit lacking. I've already told you guys about this, but it's not my forte. I still think I did a decent job for my first time, especially considered my old computer, and I still think it's pretty pleasing to look at nonetheless because you can still see the front and the back pretty clearly where the motherboard is. It's only one line at the middle where there's a bunch of cables just crumpled together, and there are some things I could have made better if I had known before I made the computer, but sadly I didn't, so I guess that's that. Now, as for what the computer can do, well, there's actually no game on Roblox that I can't play. Most of the games I can play at 144 FPS or more if my monitor could keep up. But there's only a few games that actually go below 144 FPS. For example, Greenville, Lumber Tycoon 2, Tradelands, or Car Crushers 2. That is because those are pretty big games and they're pretty hard to run. If you go on those games, you'll notice that most people playing reach about 20 FPS to 5 FPS. As for me personally, my computer can reach 60 FPS or more in those games pretty much at all times. Also, considering I have a dual screen setup, I can multitask pretty well. I can play while I'm having my music on the other screen, or I can get in a call, or I can record. I can maybe even render all while I'm playing because this computer has so many cores. So all in all, I'm really satisfied with this computer. It really fits my needs, and there's really nothing much I can say about it, especially considering my old computer was really bad. So much so that it had trouble loading up at times. So for me, this computer is a huge change, and I'm really glad I got it. So yeah, I'll make a video again on the setup when it's entirely done, and whenever I make a change on the computer, like a new graphics card or adding more RAM. So yeah, Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. Peace out.